Roger.
Huh?
LA departure frequency 123.9er.
Roger.
Huh?
Request vector. Over. What?
Flight 209er clear for vector 324.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Flight
I think we're on the air.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
What?
A little stream deck here.
That's just to wake everybody up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Yes, yes, yes. Hello, out there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do we got a show for you tonight?
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, we're going to get into some deep issues. Deep issues. It's going to be awesome.
Deep issues.
Yeah, we're going to probably get hate mail tomorrow. Well, there's nothing new, though. Nothing new for this show.
It's time. It's time. It's past time.
Yeah, yeah. More hate mail.
Let's raise a little controversy.
More hate. Yeah.
Get
all
some
right,
get a little information rolling. Get people into the chat here.
Yeah.
I know that we're live. Katrina's there. I don't know if she's still there in the chat, but she was there earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about crowdfunding comics, the right and wrong way to do it, and we got some people three coming in crowdfunded books. We've got boy oh boy, we've got a lot of good stuff. And if you are watching tonight too, I think you might find time to give away a comic. So stay tuned. Find out how we're gonna do that.
Should make time. Should make time.
Yeah. Yeah, damn it. Need time
As long
for
as it's
us.
a good comic.
Yeah.
So it'll be good.
Well, none of that stuff. That other stuff. None of that brand X.
Not brand X.
Yeah, not brand X.
Okay.
All right, guys. So,
Are we rolling that beautiful bean footage? You want me to do it?
Yeah, you know what? You may go right ahead and do it, sir.
Here we go. We're rolling.
Yep. Greetings. It is I.
Hello, everybody.
That's right. That's right. How you guys doing? Check this out. I'm gonna jump right into it. Hello, my
Hey.
name.
Ralph's already there.
Yeah. Hey, Ralph. How's it going?
Yo, Ralph. Thanks for joining us.
My name is Varian Graham, the co-owner. I can't say that word. Co-owner of Last Call Comics.
Co-founder?
Yes, co-founder, co-owner of Last Call Comics for the last 7 to 8 years now. Founder of IndieVolt Media LLC. Got my start making comic books way back in the days of yore. That's right, 2008.
It's wonderful days of yore.
Yeah. My first book was a book called Psycho Sirens. It's a black and white interior action comedy. I'm a father, a husband, a geek, a creator, a publisher, a reluctant taxpayer, and an artist who's striving to stay relevant. Shamefully.
Do you have
Not-
to strive to stay relevant?
Oh, yeah. I'm always creating controversy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shamefully not in that order.
I did not
know. And you are watching IndieVolt Live. Tonight I am joined by Lola, a.k.a. Double Lattes, right over there in that corner. And, of course, Mr. J. Randy Zimmerman.
Hey, how you doing? Randy J. Zimmerman.
Yeah.
So-
Not according to your thing there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I hit a J on accident. I guess it is J. Randy Zimmerman. Wow, do I need to jump back out and jump back in just to have a proper title?
I think we'll deal with it. Hello, Jason. How's it going? Jason Moore in the chat. Randy,
Chad's
who
in
are
the
you?
Chat. Huh?
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm actually Randy Zimmerman, not J. Randy Zimmerman. But been a self-publisher for many years, longer than most have been alive, and done all sorts of stuff. Was a retailer for many years. Was a freelancer for many years. Did my own comic newspaper for a decade called Flint Comics and Entertainment. Moved through 1 million copies, 100 issues, and decided to get out and start doing more mainstream stuff, or more indie, get back into the indie scene again, thanks to this crowdfunding thing that we're going to be talking about tonight.
That's right. The crowdfunding bug has bit everyone. They're all.
Is it a bug?
It's a bug.
It's a
It's a
bug.
virus. Let me see here. I'm sending out invites. I'm sorry. All right.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I posted mine earlier before we went live, so all except for my Twitter, which I should probably do.
Ooh. Yeah.
I should make sure we have the YouTube link though for that, so they don't come in through the back door.
Yeah.
That would not be friendly. It's been a busy week. It's been a crazy week.
It has. It has. It's it's just Tuesday. But I
already
think
Tuesday.
for us, we count like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is like this week before we're able to get back on and talk about what happened. So yeah, thank you for the heart, Rachel. Appreciate it. Rachel likes us on Facebook.
Oh, Rachel?
Yeah,
It's probably my daughter.
No, it's her.
Different
Lola's,
Rachel?
Lola's. best
Oh,
friend.
okay. Sorry.
Lola's the best buddy in the whole wide world. Yeah. Never met a Rachel I didn't like though, except for one in high school. But her name was Rachel Ann, so that doesn't count. Let's see here. Oh, we are joined by Mr. Josh C. Lyman. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
Who just got up?
Door closed. It's much better.
And all the beeping sounds.
Is that your computer firing up?
Yeah, it's one of those. You weren't using this, so it's giving me all the alerts. Gotta love it. Shut up! I don't care.
So, guys, how were your weekends?
It was all right. Apparently,
Yeah.
my phone just wants to keep notifying things.
It's
right
those
now.
crazy notifications from Chrome. I recognize that noise anyway.
That's exactly what that is.
Yep.
I sat in the house and I drew. I drew all weekend, and I've been doing a lot more drawing. My hands are cramped; they hurt, but it's gonna happen. I wanna take time to address something that somebody sent in, and I didn't have time to make the graphic. But a gentleman was told online to be a better artist, he should try to draw for 10 hours a day for 2 months straight.
10 hours?
Yeah, 10 hours straight.
Interesting.
10 hours straight, meaning no
Interesting.
breaks.
Well, if you're on a deadline, you're maybe sleeping 4 hours a day at best
Yeah.
True.
and just working. But 10 hours all at once, that's a great way to get that carpal tunnel working.
Yeah. I mean, this
Burnout.
health concerns, swollen hands,
Yeah.
busted up knuckles.
It's something you got to build into.
Yeah.
Cobra Latino.
Says hello,
Hello.
everyone. First time watching. How are you, Cobra?
Cool.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
So, guys, before we get into the subject matter of today's show,
Dun dun dun.
yeah, you want me to
Josh
jump
should
into-
probably introduce himself. Other than
Oh yeah,
just
Josh,
saying,
go ahead
"Hello,
and introduce while I'm
how
pulling
you
these
doing?"
questions up.
Yeah. Introduce
Good.
yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Lyman. I came in just a little bit late. I was grabbing some tea. Yes, I've worked indie comics, but primarily what I do is I travel the road throughout the United States and sometimes outside of the U.S. selling art, as well as selling it online to different artists and Comic Cons and things like that. But it's all my work, so I try to have fun with it. And Varian and the crew here have very graciously allowed me to join rather recently. So hey, gonna do my best not to disappoint them.
Morgan Austin's in the house.
Hey, Morgan, how's it doing?
Morgan.
And then, how many states have you think you're going to, Josh?
Outside of confusion.
Yeah.
just under 40 at this point.
Okay.
There's some of them like South Dakota and North Dakota that don't really have Comic Cons that are viable for travel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Varian
more-
was just at a 2-day show in South Dakota.
Yeah.
yeah, that's where it comes down to. Like for me though, flying to South Dakota for a 2-day show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got to justify that expense.
yeah, exactly. And like when you see it doesn't have the word convention center, you're like, exit stage left.
Yeah. Morgan says,
Where is
hi,
it? It's
guys.
the town hall, obviously.
At least it didn't have the name Garage in it.
Garage, yeah, that's happened. I've had a fire department a couple of times.
So I'm gonna bring up a question for you guys,
Sure.
and you guys tell me what you think about these. Let's see here. Okay, there we go.
Questions.
Yeah, questions from our.
Ooh,
And
questions
he's wrote it
from the
before.
listener.
L. Nolan's wrote it before. Randy, you reading it?
Oh,
The
bye.
retailers should be staging no-buy weeks if they are truly that upset with the content. A few paltry weeks of sales would send a clear message to Diamond and the publishers that the product needs to improve. L. Nolan.
Nice to live in fantasy land.
Thanks for the note, L. Nolan. We deeply appreciate your input, but you really need to know how that comic market works. There's no way
Yeah.
you can really schedule a no-buy week when it comes to Diamond and a lot of these publishers because they're constantly pushing books back from guys that aren't making those deadlines. So a no-buy week suddenly turns into a huge buy week with like 3 major event books and all of the indies loading up at once.
Yeah, they have a bad habit of going, oh, well, if you don't buy this, then you're not going to get this thing that everybody wants. Make it a forced incentive as well. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Even on the weeks that they're not producing stuff or releasing stuff, Marvel and DC still now especially try to release stuff, oddball stuff, out if there's a 5th week in the schedule. So
The Marvel preview book is almost as big as the actual preview book at this point.
yeah.
Good old
Great.
Trico's in the.
Hi, Trico, in the house.
I think that I mean it would have to be a massive because another thing doesn't Diamond, I mean it's pretty much common knowledge, those books are like 3 months out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The retailer has the job of trying to schedule 3 months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's no way they can schedule exactly what comes in on a week.
And all it takes is like that one time.
So I'm gonna bring one of our special guests in today.
Who
One of
we
our
got?
other special
We got
guests we have.
drum roll.
Sitting in the back room.
Yeah,
as
sitting in
we
the back
speak.
room. Yeah. We're gonna bring him in. All right, there we go. Drum roll.
Ooh.
Hey, it's Nick.
Hey.
Nick. How's it going, Nick?
Oh,
Mr.
not
Pink
too bad.
Lemonade.
Bonsoir.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing okay. How about you guys?
Pretty
Real
good.
Thank you.
We just got through talking about Diamond, but your book is actually out tomorrow through Diamond.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true.
Yeah. Are you excited, sir?
I think so. Yeah, it's hard to process everything, but I guess I am. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just kind of more focusing on getting the next thing done right now, but that's where like most of my thought capacity is for at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned that some artist. I was looking at some information from another artist. He was telling someone to draw 10 hours a day for the next 2 months, and he'll get better. What do you think about that? How often do you draw? How often are you at your table?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd say probably close to 10 hours. I don't sleep much. I mean, I probably should sleep more, but
You're
yeah,
young.
yeah, I can manage it right now. But
Sleep is for the weak.
I'd say if as long as you just keep doing it and pretty consistently, you'll see improvement over time. And I mean, even if your schedule just allows for like an hour or so a day, that's plenty to just keep the brain working on improving that stuff.
Yeah.
Just do what you can.
I got I got my Pink Lemonade last week.
Nice.
Yeah. I got all the covers. As a matter of fact, I sent you pictures. So yeah.
Yeah.
I probably should scan that.
It looks really good. I'm wondering now issue 2. You're working on that. I think you guys already started the crowdfunding for it. That wrapped up a couple days ago. How far are you along on that book? Are you finished with it, or are you still working?
It's getting close to done. Just have to finish coloring and then lettering, and then it's pretty much there. I'm trying to start thinking more intensely about the third one specifically, just because the writing part is I don't really look at myself as a writer, so that's like the thing I'm most critical on, just in terms of does it feel right? Is it looking like the best it could be? So that's like the part that I feel like I spend the most time prepping for, just because I have to make sure it feels right, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it reads pretty good. I was I don't know, Rand, did you get a chance to read yours yet?
No, I haven't. I just got mine. When was that? Thursday or Friday?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Yeah, I just barely had a chance to open it and take a look at it, so I haven't sat and read it yet.
And then I'm gonna put a banner up before you too. There you go. Yeah. So we got and I see we have another guest backstage. You bring him in as well. Hold on, there we go.
Who we
Cool.
got? Eric?
There we go. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, no, we got
Hey there, Rob.
We got Rob.
Hello.
Yeah. So I with Pink Lemonade and now that it's out and you I know you have the holiday pack too. So you got a lot.
That's coming in December, so we got a lot of Pink Lemonade on the way for the immediate future here.
Do I hear action figures in there somewhere?
I don't know. Maybe it'd be cool.
Randy got a sketch card.
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got
Those
the
were
sketch
fun to do.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm jealous of the sketch card. I'm a little jealous of it, but
You had your chance, buddy. You should have jumped in.
I squandered my chance to get the sketch card, but that's okay. That's okay.
You had one job, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also have Rob Anderson here with us. Rob, how are you today, sir?
What's going on, man?
Hey, we got we're covering a bunch of stuff tonight. We got Nick here. Nick created Pink Lemonade. I don't know if you've heard of that yet. So Indiegogo. He's been on the show before with us. A really talented creator. He's put out 2 books in the time it takes me to put out 1. So he's 3 because you got the holiday pack too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
yeah, much more talented than I. Did you guys want to weigh in on that question I had up here real quick?
Gonna throw it up there.
Yeah, I'll throw it up here again.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
That was
There
probably
we go.
me.
It says the retailers should be staging no-buy weeks if they are truly that upset with the content. A few paltry weeks of sales would send a clear message to Diamond that the publishers and the publishers that the product needs to improve. That's from a writer. He's wrote it before, L. Nolan. What do you guys think about that? Any thoughts?
I think it sounds utterly terrible, but I think that most people that work for Diamond don't read comic books anymore. They're just focused on like distributing the books. Now I haven't picked up the previews book probably in at least a year, but last time I looked through it, it was majority everything else merchandise like shoved in there. They're focusing on, hey, how much you pay to be in that book, or hey, you go through the approval process for this one specific page of Spotlight. And then other than that, you have your block. Like DC has their block in there, Top Cow has their block in there, so on and so forth. I think, yes, it would be nice to be able to have a united front and be like, look, you can't treat us like this, or you can't set up a restriction. But at the same time, I feel like it's a Gandhi moment where it's like, it's a nice idea, but there's so many other things that are around it that would make it fall and fail.
And Nick, you have any feelings on that?
Nothing particularly. This whole thing is still kind of new to me because I'm not really sure how this stuff works, to be honest. I'm not really dealing myself with any of the Diamond stuff or.
I respect that.
And plus, Nick has to be very careful. His book comes out tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
Rip the page out of 3,000 issues of it now.
It's too late. It's already in the mail. It's all good.
The Indie Devil was not short for words, though. Oh no. Put the kids away. What do you think? What do you think, Rob? Is it possible to stage a no-buy week?
It's ridiculous to do that. You don't cut off what's working, and you have to sell comic books to continue. What the retailers need to do is start talking to indie creators and getting creators to show up at their events and their comic book stores to make it interesting again. They've focused too much on Funko Pops and not enough on creators. And that's just you build a culture and you build a fan base by giving the fans something interesting. Tons of creators out there will spend a day with them at their shop. I mean, I'm going to Emerald City for the 4th time this weekend, because they want creators to be there. So that's what it is. Stop worrying about not buying something and start worrying about what you're giving your actual audience. And that comes with the comic book shops. They're too worried about selling figures and not worrying about how to get people to read comics again.
Interesting.
Sorry,
Also,
that was me.
yeah. Was that your phone?
No, that's my silly notification thing.
Okay, so I have one other question. Well, I have some other questions. Hold on.
Fighters.
Yeah.
Akuma.
All right, there we go. Let me get rid of that one so I don't put it back up by accident. All right. Yeah, I brought back the. All right, there we go.
And Sagat.
Randy, go ahead.
Sir, what?
Yeah, it's your question to read.
Indie comics ain't shit either. Either the story is trash, the print jobs are hit or miss, and don't even get me started on the talent behind the books. Comics as a concept is dying. Well, L. Nolan again. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
You're welcome to your opinion, but I think you're reading the wrong comics.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. Like, again, and not just because he's on the show, but Nick's book is colorful. It's well printed.
Very well printed.
Yeah. I was a little jealous. I got a little envious of it. I'm looking at his book like, I'm gonna outdo him. Just wait. The colors pop on that book. Same thing with Rob. Rob's books are well put together. I think that we take time, and I've sent books back because they haven't been printed right. And Randy, you've been printing for years. You started off with newsprint.
Yeah.
And went over. I mean, you look at your books right before you send them out.
Oh, well, no, not.
Actually, I proof every single one page by page.
But I've been dealing with printers for decades. You know, the guys that I've run with the last 30, 40 years are the guys that print, either really know how to print comics. Like all the Arrow books were all printed through Printy Press and Litho, and they were the ones that printed Cerebus for many, many years. So they knew what they were doing. They've already made all of the comic book mistakes that they could probably make. And then for the newspaper, I was running with a local web press that was very familiar with the format and very familiar with the work, and there just wasn't a bad job as long as I knew how the PDFs look. And if the graphic guy who was loading up the program and it didn't look right, he would always call me, which did happen a couple of times. Hey, page 13 doesn't look exactly right. Maybe you should take another look at it and send me another PDF of it. No. Okay, thanks for catching that. You know.
Jason Moore, in regards to the last question, says, not a realistic solution, in my opinion. This is about the comic shops and their buy week. Seems to be like that would hurt the retailer much harder in the long run. Trico says,
and it probably would, because the retailer's desperately, looking every week to be able to cover next week's diamond bill.
Trico says, L. Nolan be hating tonight, LOL.
Seems that way.
And
we welcome his opinion. He gives us stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Artist Objective, L. Nolan, what are you reading? Yeah, he'll probably come back next week with, this is for us all.
Well, apparently he's not reading hardly anything, because he says everything's hit or miss and the market is dying.
Yeah. Well, look, the man, the other man in the orange shirt with the glasses, he goes out of his way every week to make sure that he's talking about where artists are, where you're going to be at, all for free, mind you. He'd be the first person to tell me if the market was dying. Do you see the market dying, Rob?
No, it's not the market that's dying. It's the ability of controlling the market from all the other people that's dying. Kickstarter has allowed creators to independently create without these overlords, and if he's reading indie comics, he could be reading comics from a certain publisher who never gets their books out on time. We don't know. Maybe he's following the wrong publisher. Maybe he's following the wrong creators. Because I could tell you 12 books off the top of your head, and I have no problem even dropping my book. My book, Cat Dad and Supermom, is blowing creators away who are adults. It's an all ages book. So when someone says that to me, the first thing I think is they don't read indie comics at all. What they did is they read Image, considered that indie comics, and decided that we're all the same way, because Image puts out some bad books too, right? I know people who don't like Image books. So it really would come down to, with thousands of creators, how are you judging it? Would you read 10 books and decide we all suck? Like, really? What's your scope? I've read hundreds of indie comics, and there are some bad ones, and there is a bad publisher or two out there. But for the most part, they're the most passionate projects, they're the most honest projects. And sometimes they're the most powerfully written, because we don't have to worry about corporate overlords telling us we can't say something.
Or that you have to hit the next big event, or you have to include this character because this character just got optioned for a movie.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I mean, well, Nick, you put a lot of heart into Pink Lemonade. I could tell when reading it.
Well, thanks.
She's like a pure good character.
Yeah, that was sort of the intent behind her, because a lot of the other aspects of her world are a little bit more cynical, and there's some stuff that she tries to latch onto that's good out there. And I think sometimes it's good to remember that, there can be good stuff out there, and trying to hold on to that is a hard thing to do sometimes. I don't know. People are always saying that the comic industry is dying and stuff, and that there's nothing good out there. And I don't know. I think there's always good stuff out there, because there's always people making good stuff. It's just trick is finding it sometimes.
Yeah. And you're one of the few that hasn't been because our topic tonight is some of the crowdfunding. You've been successful in crowdfunding three times now, with the first Pink Lemonade, the Holiday Collection, and now Pink Lemonade issue 2. Rob, you have been hit or miss, but you have usually funded.
Actually, I've funded more than I haven't. I've had one so far failed project. We had to pull another project, so we had some problems. And the Advocator has been the project that funds within 2 days, but it's always the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's always a nail biter. But we always get it done, and people always ask us how we do it. And it really comes back to the community that is excited for something new. So that's why I say, when people talk about, how comics are dying, they're not. They're evolving, and comic book shops aren't paying attention. And they're looking at it that way. Marvel, DC aren't paying attention. People want new stories. They just don't want tights and capes anymore. They certainly don't want you coming in and changing their characters to fit a mold for a new generation. And then you're instantly that fan base. They're not giving them exciting, compelling new comic book characters, but indie comics is, and that's why you're seeing Kickstarter sell more comics than Marvel and DC.
Jason Moore, he says, the art form of comics isn't close to death. This form of storytelling will always be around in one way or another. Changes happen in the industry, always has. It simply ebbs and flows without fail. One of the things we want to talk about is that, in the theme of tonight's show, is that there are people. Rob, you touched on it. You mentioned that people are tired of funding books and not getting them. And we had a situation that I think Rob brought to my attention this week. Once again, a publisher. He's a publisher, right? Is in the market. Is in the
use the air quotes.
Is in the news again for
publisher.
For and not in a good way, for funding a book and not delivering. Now, apparently this is an ongoing thing. This has happened several times. This is not the first time this has happened. We're talking about how do you pronounce the name of his company?
Evolutionine?
Yeah, is that what it is? Because I can't pronounce it. I'm doing an accent. But Marcel's Dupree's company. I've seen his name thrown around a few times. People say that, oh, he's not funding books, or he's funding books and not sending them out. You brought this latest incident to my attention, but I remember before that, I seem to recall you trying to touch base with him to get things cleared up.
Well, I mean, look, end of the day, he's a human being who's made a lot of poor choices.
Mhm.
And he continues to double down on the poor choices. And whenever you confront him, he tries to use what he considers to be success against anyone else that will say anything to him. And we all know that success isn't what you made on Kickstarter, it's what you delivered. And if you're not delivering a product, you're not successful, are you? If you're pissing off people who are your backers because you're not doing the right thing, you're just gonna make everyone look foolish. And this guy is honestly, and this is just the truth. He made not $6,000 to make a book on Kickstarter, and has spent the last year almost finding excuses on how not to produce this book. But the truth is that he's using money from one project to fund another project. And there are many creators starting to come forward, but we're in an industry that allows abuse, because what are we all taught? Don't say it out loud, right?
Yeah.
Everything private. We can't talk about it. Here's the problem. When we're not talking about it, this guy's going out recruiting new creators and taking advantage of new creators. I don't know if you know this, but there was a Kickstarter that he had fully funded, and he wound up sending people other books, not even the book from the Kickstarter. And he said it was the artist's fault because the artist refused to make the book. Do you know that book wound up in previews?
Do him or do someone else?
No, by someone else, the creator. The whole thing came down to that Marcel tried to rip off the creator. So the creator said, you can't have my book, and I'll just put it out there. And he put it out online for free for anyone who backed it. So they could get it digitally for free, but it wound up in previews.
Yikes.
I'll ask you, what is Marcel doing as a publisher? What is he really doing? He's not going to shows. Have you ever seen him at a show near you?
No, I've never met Marcel.
I've never seen him. I've never seen his brand. I've never seen the books he puts out. So what's he doing as a publisher? Is he in Diamond? Not with one single book. So again, what's he doing for these creators other than taking their IPs and banking on it? And when it doesn't make money, he has a way to say, oh, well, an artist quit the book. You've heard Travis talk about it. People are quitting because they're being abused. Is that really quitting at that point? Or is it drawing a line in the sand and saying, I won't be treated a certain way?
That is. I gotta. Am I hear that echo? Okay.
Oh yeah.
That is interesting. I wonder if. Well, I reached out to Marcel. He was gonna provide me a statement, and he did not get back to me in time. But he did write a short statement. He told me he does not do press.
You actually doesn't have to answer questions.
He says, I just have to say that The Delay of Dog Days, which is the book that was in question a couple days ago, has nothing to do with Travis. It is all on me. I've had the artist redraw several things to make sure it's up to standards of my brand. The creator that you speak of quit Dog Days. He no longer has anything to do with the book, so he isn't aware of the production status of the graphic novel. I do wish that creator success in their other ventures.
Except, to correct the record, Travis never left the project. What it was is that Marcel stopped paying people for doing work. And it wasn't because he didn't like something. No, he just wasn't paying people. So Travis said, you won't be able to use my script without my permission, and I'm not going to hand in any more scripts going forward until you pay the team. So he stood up for other creators, and he knows what he's doing publicly is hurting who he is, but he cares more about the backers and more about the team that's working with him to produce this book than he does his own reputation. So he came to light and he started being honest with it. I can say that as of today, I think that he had said on his video that he thought that maybe it was a misunderstanding, and he clarified it for Marcel, and things have begun to work again. And I can say that according to Marcel, the book will be now ready in February, but delivered in May. which makes no sense to me. If a book's done in February, why does it take till May to deliver it?
I'm not the best with math. Wait a minute.
That's an extra 3 months onto a project that was supposed to be done in October. And then he told people today, oh, well, this is going to cost me $9,000 to make the book and deliver it. Well, why did you ask for $6,000 then? And let's not forget that a lot of people are saying that he's topping off his own Kickstarters now to make them look more successful than they are. In other words, they would be failing if he wasn't putting money in that he's not actually putting in. There's this trick that a lot of creators use called the dead credit card. They use a dead credit card that won't be charged to make their campaigns look like they funded.
Real quick, Annie from our Indie Vote Radio Ask Me Anything says Nick is a dead ringer for Tom Holland.
Really? I never got that before. My friend always gets the Tom Holland comparisons. That's a new one.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
You got a fan out there, and Annie from Annie
There you
from
go.
New Zealand, actually. Okay, so yeah, she's from New Zealand. So hello, Annie from New Zealand. I wonder if what do you think of Marcel? And I know that as Josh, do you know Marcel Dupree?
No, not actually like person to person. No.
Mm-hmm. But you've heard of it. Nick is pure. He stays away from all the drama. He doesn't have. I was looking through Nick's friends list, and we don't have many of the same friends, and that's because Nick is like, no, I'm just gonna draw my comic, put my head down. I'm not dealing with any of that.
I feel like I've heard of Dog Days before, but I can't picture it. Like, I don't know of any of this stuff. I don't know.
I'd show you a copy, but it's going to take till May for me to get mine.
James Eric says, "Hi fellas, I just got home. Congrats on using ascertain in a sentence." I was convinced it was ascertain, but I'm not kidding. So I decided that the best thing for us to do when we're helping creators all the time, but that's what we do here at Indie Vote. We help creators to figure out what it is they need to do to make sure that they're not messing up, they're not being taken by a crowdfunder, somebody who's getting their book crowdfunded, but they also don't become one, because it's very easy. Rob, would you admit that it's very easy to make a mistake and make a few bad decisions, and you end up looking like the bad guy when crowdfunding a book?
Oh, sure. And then Bleeding Cool does an article about you 6 months ago, and then you continue to do the same bad things, except now you're also making slutty covers. But you're right. Of course, these are all things he can't control. I told you. The official statement from their company is it's not our fault.
Here we go. So here's a list. It was expertly compiled by our experts here at Indie Vault.
Hey.
Go ahead, Randy. You want to read those?
You're the expert at Indie Vault.
Yeah.
1, do not start. Oh no, we went through this list earlier.
Yeah.
1, do not start another campaign until your previous campaign is fulfilled. Period. 2, respect your product. If you don't, no one else will. This includes your mailing center. 3, communicate. Update campaign backers regularly on the campaign page. Do not expect them to follow you on Twitter or search through your 3-hour live streams for the 15 seconds of needed info.
And those are just basic rules. Those are basic rules. I think if you follow those, you should be okay.
You guys,
At least you'll get a little more respect than if you don't follow those.
Yeah. What you want to say, Rob?
I said, do you want to do a Marcel scorecard on this one, on these three? You want to know what he's doing and not doing? Because you have to add some more for him to be on the board. Let's just say that. You'd have to add a few more. Maybe just like have his name somewhere and he can get the point right now, because so far it's a 0.
It is like, I could see how I could mess up. But I will say this, Ted puts out his book Retrieve, the publishing company I own, Last Call Comics, and not to my own horn, but we did how you doing, Dave? Dave the Supreme in the house, everybody. He put that we did pre-orders for the book, and we got rushed for pre-orders, and I rushed to the point where I did not have enough mailers to send them out. So I had to do a rush order of mailers, get the mailers, send the books out, and I was happy that they all got every. I know Ted was getting compliments on the way the books were shipped. Pink Lemonade came shipped, with care and concern. Now I know Nick, you didn't have much to do with that, right?
No,
The shipping gas.
I'm just getting the copies that I need to sign in the mail soon, and then I'm gonna mail them back, and then he's gonna mail them to the people that ordered the signed ones. I think that's the only thing that's left from this one.
Will you? Your rep and integrity will mean everything as you go forward. Yeah, I mean, Nick, if you ran across a situation like that where you found out that people weren't getting funded or weren't getting their books, you would reach out to your publisher, right?
Absolutely.
It makes you look bad. And Rob,
Yeah.
why don't you think those other creators are coming forward? Do they think that people? Eric says, "Be realistic. Don't take on more than you can deliver." Is step 4. That's a good. That's a good rule there, Eric. Why aren't these other creators coming forward, on Marcel?
Didn't they? Wasn't that what the Bleeding Cool report was about? Wasn't that creators coming forward? And the problem when that came out is that everyone gave Marcel the benefit of the doubt. And I've told you this off air, and I'll say it on there. I've gotten in trouble for stepping up and talking about it because everyone wants me to be this advocating puppet that never talks about anything that's bad, but that's not reality. If you're going to advocate for something, you have to talk about the bad too. And this is what it's about. This is having an adult conversation about, look, no one thinks Marcel's a bad person, but there's troubling things when you have 10 Kickstarters going on in a given 2-month period and half of them aren't getting funded. You're telling people you're refunding things, but you're never talking to people. He blocked me because he kept trying to make it about, oh, you're just upset because I do better on Kickstarter, and I'm not upset about that because I actually deliver my books. And he has a problem with that. I don't. And he tries to make it about how much money, and he tries to make it about he's better than you. And when he can't win at that, he gets mad and just blocks you. And that's what he's doing to backers. He is blocking backers because remember, I'm a backer. So I have every right to ask where the money is. When I invested in this and you spend it on a different comic book, you're stealing from me. There's no other way to put it. You're stealing from me. I paid you to make a book. Make the book and deliver it. Don't give me excuses. And he doesn't do updates, and he doesn't do any of the right things. But why aren't people coming forward? Because when someone does come forward, he just tries to shame them. He did the same thing. Look what he did to Travis. He was going to use Travis's script after Travis left the project. Everyone in this chat right now knows that's not ethical at all, is it?
No.
If someone leaves the project, you stop right there. That has to be redone now. Someone has to go back and redo it. So there's a lot of unethical behavior that's not a bad, it's not a mistake. It's a choice. And the choice is always leaning towards money is more important to me. So I'm going to put out this slut cover to make as much money as I can, and then I'm going to call myself successful because I raised $10,000 on Kickstarter. But I'm never going to show up at a show, and I'm never going to he doesn't even have an online store. How can you be a publisher and not have an online store?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's Randy, you've been publishing for much longer than everybody else here.
Long time, yes.
What is the job of a publisher? Any publisher, or a publisher, period. What's your job?
To put out what your advertise is coming. That's the primary thing. Make sure the product looks good. Make sure that it's done and done right, done on time, and out there in people's hands. That's the big key. Delivery is everything.
Yeah, I don't want to dox myself. I'm not going to, but I got there it is from It's Alive Comics. I got Pink Lemonade. It was in there. They came shipped nice and tight. We got I got 4 copies. Plus I got one we're gonna give away. We're gonna give away a copy of Pink Lemonade. Yeah. So we're gonna give one away here. But it's the job of a publisher to get those books out to fans. To make the process should go. Are you saying Trump tactics? That's what Ralph says.
Just kidding.
It's his job to get the books out to people, and when you're failing at that, you also make your creators look bad. Because I'm telling you right now, I'll get pissed at Randy, if I didn't get my book. I'm probably not going to go to the publisher immediately. I'm going to go contact Nick and say, Nick, I didn't get my books.
Yeah.
Where's my lemonade? I'm parched.
Yep.
So and he's gonna be like, hey, I'm getting customers contacting me about this book. Why hasn't it out yet? And you got the indie devil here who's keeping him honest, and you get blocked for it. That's not good. That's not good. That's Josh. What do you think about that? You've been quiet. What do you think about that, Josh?
Well, I'm just drawing pink lemonade.
Oh, are you? Okay. Let's see what you got so far.
I have an eyeball.
Oh, okay. I think that I mean, I did give Marcel an opportunity to come on the show. That's another thing too. A publisher. I don't know Marcel from time. He's probably a great guy, but when a publisher says I don't do press, man, antennas go up, because you're supposed to be the mouthpiece for this company, unless you hire another mouthpiece.
Well, hopefully, being an independent publisher, you want press.
Yeah.
Because that raises awareness for your products.
Yeah. Rob, does that bother you that he doesn't do press?
Look, if you don't want to do press as a publisher, that's an alarm bell, like you said, because that means you also don't want to have to answer for what you did or what you're doing or answer questions. Because if you're going to imagine if Marvel Comics suddenly said, sorry, we're not doing press anymore.
They should. They should. That'd be nice.
Everyone to have it. Yeah.
But everyone would do
it. Right.
Because when they want to complain to someone who will answer them. And what he's saying is, I don't care what anyone has to say. This is what I'm doing. And that's the message when you don't do press. I don't have to be held accountable. People back my projects, and that's good enough.
Yeah. I think that, you were Ralph says, as a publisher back in the day, you had to work months in advance just for Diamond. Yeah, but he's not in Diamond, so he doesn't have to worry about that. If he was in Diamond probably would have shit canned it by now, right, Randy?
I have well, if he misses a couple of purchase orders, yeah, Diamond would give him hassle. Yeah. He'd have to pass the retail council first, and that would be a small miracle just to start with. So. Diamond has a lot of hoops.
You should love any press you get in an overcrowded market. Do you think that that's a problem with the false storyline to make the public think how big you are when you are not is fraud, period. My publisher last cause my trust and my fans trust because we deliver. That's right. That's right. That's right. I like that. That whole quote should be full screen. Full disclosure. I own Last Call Comics, so co-own Last Call Comics. I'm sorry.
There you go. Corrected by the Lola.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to. She was gonna add not the founder to her status.
It's gonna hit you with those light up shoes.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Straight through the screen too.
Yeah.
From all the way across.
Guys, and it just. I guess. Rob, how do we fix the situation? How do we fix it?
Well, he's lost the trust of the people. And I told him this after the Bleeding Cool article comes out. He's clearly not a good businessman. Let's just be honest. He can't run a business. He's good at bringing people together. Give him that credit. He's brought some very talented people. As a publisher, he needs to step back and get someone to not only be the mouthpiece, but someone to run his actual group, where they're delivering, they're making sure there's quality. He's talking to artists and stuff. So Marcel can be what he wants to be behind the scenes, bringing people together. So if he wants to make a change, he has to let go. But the problem is he doesn't want to let go. And it's really sad because we're talking about him and his mistakes instead of talking about people like Joel Rodriguez and his Dust County Chronicles, which only has 3 days left. There's so many great creators out there throwing their hearts into Kickstarter. And instead of talking about them, we have to pause and talk about someone who knows they're not being ethical, but just cares that they're part of the picture. Because right now they're getting people to back his projects. And no one wants that to stop. No one wants any of those projects to not get funded. What we want is for him to do what's right. If he makes $6,000 for a project, that $6,000 goes to that project. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's his, when you go to Kickstarter and you kickstart something, you're making a promise. That's your integrity. And if you're not delivering on that promise, you don't deserve the right to hide behind other creators to call yourself a publisher. Remember, he's on Kickstarter hiding behind other creators. So as mentioned now, when those creators are the ones launching Kickstarters, it's their names getting ruined on Kickstarter. So the next time they try to launch a Kickstarter, it falls on them.
What do you guys think? And I know Josh is answering this, so this is for you and Nick. There was I believe it was M3SOZ or someone else. I mentioned it last week. Said that Ethan, which is they said that Ethan had made a comment. Ethan Van Sciver had made a comment that said, when you back something on crowdfunding, it is not a purchase. It's and you're not entitled to actually get anything. What do you guys think about that? I see Nick. Yeah, Nick's already shaking his head.
I don't think that's accurate at all. I think, you pledged for something, you should get it.
Mhm.
Bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, I know they got the tiers where you can pay like $5 and you get a pat on the back, but
Yeah.
That actually is really confusing to me. Like the general concept of like donate $1, just to donate $1. I get that, but like Amazon's gonna get like what 18-20% out of that, meant 80 cents.
Yes.
Just come see me or mail me the $1, as far as that's concerned. Maybe I'm just overthinking it.
What do you think about that, Rob? Is that make your head spin that you're not promised an item? It's almost an investment in something that might not come to fruition, and you need to deal with that.
Look, I don't want to talk badly about someone. He clearly has a reading problem when he was reading the terms of service for Kickstarter and Indiegogo. So he probably just needs someone to help him learn to read. We can get him some phonics books, and he can actually learn what the actual crowdfunding is. And someone should tell him this isn't GoFundMe. I think it's confusing Indiegogo and Kickstarter with GoFundMe because there are literally clear rules about this.
Mm-hmm.
By not delivering when you take money from someone, it is theft. And that's why people are getting sued in courts, because they're stealing from backers. And remember, backers are overpaying for what we're doing. They should be put up on thrones and carried on our backs for helping create something, because they are our publisher. So when someone like someone like him does something like that, it really is a message to who he is and how little we should trust him.
Now you see that I've never used crowdfunding. I am a virtuous person. I put my money where my mouth is at, and I have the benefit of being able to say, "You'll get the book when you get it when I'm finished." But I get it. When you're crowdfunding, you serve all the more people you have. Like I don't know how Ethan did it. When Ethan got $800,000, however much it is, I told Randy this. I would have had a panic attack. I'd have freaked out, and I wouldn't have drawn anything. I've been refunding money because it's too much for me to deal with.
No, he did have a panic attack.
Yeah, but the panic attack I would have had.
He took that 48-page book and turned it into an 88-page book.
The panic attack I would have had would have been Howard Hughes like.
Oh, jump into obscurity. Yeah.
Yep.
Now let's also
and honestly, you should do that for a couple months till the book gets done. Somebody throws $500,000 at me, I'm definitely going away until the book's done.
What are you about to say, Rob?
That's all I'm going to do.
Even with crowdfunding, even with my $1 pledges, people get something. I don't believe in charity. I wasn't raised to ask for charity. If you're pledging to me, you're getting something. I don't care if it's a PDF of another book of mine. I don't care if your name is somewhere. You're going to get something for every dollar you spend, and that's just what it is. They're spending money on us.
Mm-hmm.
They're investing in us, and they deserve to be treated with respect, not treated like, oh, you'll get what I tell you get.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Jim O'Reilly says, I think books should be complete before the crowdfunding begins. That's a valid argument, Jim.
I'll agree. I think we were discussing that last weekend too. Like, hey, have the book done, or at least 80%, maybe 75% done. Like, hey, we've got the pencils done and the inks done.
Yep.
We got the flats done. All we need is to finish coloring it and do all the lettering and proofing. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would. I mean, in a perfect world, that'd be great. TikTok, Nick, TikTok. I know you're still working on, but Nick's gonna complete it. Nick, you don't do the coloring, right?
No, I do. That's what I'm doing right now, actually.
Yeah, he's working, folks. He's working. It's gonna come out on time. Don't worry.
It will.
We'll keep him up. We'll keep up to date with him. You work on that book, right?
Hey, yo, man, you done? How about now?
Yeah.
But also the big thing to remember is a lot of these crowdfund campaigns, these guys are just doing it for the first time ever. You know, especially these long time guys who've been a cog in a big machine at the big corporate machine decide to do their own product, and all of a sudden they learn everything that all of us indie guys have learned years ago, what you have to do to deal with the publisher, to deal with a fulfillment service, and all of this. And a lot of these guys are just blazing new territory in their mind. And that can get super overwhelming so easy to be rough. So you need to make your first one easy. You need to make your first one as easy as possible so that you get all these kinks worked out, and then you can worry about, like for example, your boy Zach's got 4 items down the pipeline. Brian Polito from Coffin Comics, he's got 4 products in the pipeline, all in different stages of being done and all scheduled in advance. He knows when this book's going to be done, when it's going to go, when the campaign's going, tells everybody in advance the campaign's going on this date, book's done, book's going to the printer. We just need your dollars in order to get it out there so we know what the print run's going to be. That's the way to work this business.
Ralph says to Rob's point was you need them to have to try. You need them and have to try your best to deliver.
Yep.
Jim says no finished. Then people are only waiting on printing and fulfillment. Complete the project, market the project, then sell. And then he also said you made a good point, Randy. Great point. I agree. I mean, there's so many ways to do it right, and a lot of ways to do it wrong as well.
And the key is to be out there and watch these guys' campaigns and figure out what they're doing wrong and try not to make their mistakes over again.
And stop putting damn bookmarks with every perk. I'm just kidding.
If you do a large book, you should have a bookmark, but it's got to be a big book.
Once again,
and you have to do some compressed storytelling. Somebody's going to be there for more than an hour reading your book. Send them a bookmark.
Rob, if you had to, because I understand now, I was given an update by one of our secret sources that said that I guess Travis and Marcel were talking today, and apparently there's a timeline now.
Yeah, the book will be ready in May.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be ready in October, but somehow now we're waiting. No, August, I think. And now it's May, and this is fingers crossed. This is what's going to happen. Like these are the Marcel's the same person who said it'd be ready on Kickstarter in writing on October, and now he's telling Travis through a messenger that he didn't publicly say. So he'd always turn around and go, "Well, Travis got it wrong. Oh, that's not what I said, and it's not my fault." And that seems to be the press release. It's not my fault.
Do you think that?
It sounds like he's juggling.
Yeah. Do you think that Marcel would have came out and said anything if Travis didn't?
No. And let me tell you, there have been a dozen creators he's worked with who have come to me and privately told me stories. And I tell them all the same thing. You telling me doesn't help anything because he blocked me. He deliberately doesn't want to go face to face with me because he knows he'll lose. Because there's one simple question I ask. Marcel, where's the money? Where's the money for Dog Days? Why aren't you paying your artists and your colorists?
And it's not just you, Rob. It's everybody that's invested in every one of his campaigns.
Yep.
Are asking that question.
Yep.
Jim says, Jim says, keep the fluff to a minimum when you're doing a crowdfunding project. And he says,
I don't know.
Eric says,
those fluffers have to earn their keep.
That's what I was going to say. I'll fluff anyone to get it funded.
Eric says, I learned a lot on mine. Many things I'll do differently on my next one. Eric is the Kilted Avenger.
Everything in this business is a learning experience if you take it right.
Says I like Jason Brubaker's model. I'm not familiar with Jason Brubaker's model. Anybody else?
Not either. Jim O'Reilly.
Yeah, Jim, let us know what his model is. And then Jason says Polito absolutely has the Kickstarter process 100% figured out perfectly. I applaud him for his marketing ability and managerial abilities.
And again, it took him a while to get there. He's got a machine running, but he didn't have a machine running overnight.
It helps him ensure the artists aren't getting paid originally and then get paid after the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Could be
Jim
why he
says-
needs that Kickstarter money.
Jim says I can be patient with.
Like I really just don't like the general concept of doing a piece and then only if they hit that certain goal does your piece get to be created.
Yeah, that doesn't
I'm
sound right.
just like, nah, that just it's wrong with me.
That is
And
the
he-
Polito model, right?
And he might have corrected that by now and be paying in advance.
Nope,
No?
not everybody.
All right.
Is
I've
Very
got-
sorry to hear that.
one of our mutual friends who does.
There's some
work for
people who
him.
actually have to pay for half of the production of their variant, and then they have to sell them and do a contract as far as that's concerned as well.
Josh, we know we know an artist who's in that. I don't want to say his name, but his piece got the Swarovski crystal treatment too. Do you know if he got paid first for that or was it afterwards?
You'd have to message me which artist you're talking about.
Okay, I'll put it in the private chat.
Thank you.
Yeah. There we go.
Dun dun dun.
I'm sorry to hear that because, like I
Yeah,
said, by now
one
he
of
should
them.
have it as
Okay.
a running machine.
And Jim says, I can be patient with the guy who was releasing his first book solo for the first time to an extent.
Yeah.
And now, Rob, what's the longest you waited for a book?
I'm still waiting. Like,
Is it?
I mean, Dog Days is going to be 15 months. But right
So aside from Dog Days, any others that have taken like a year or 8 months or anything like that?
I could tell you at least 12. And there are still some books that I'm still waiting for. I can call up my Kickstarter right now
They're not all Marcel's books, are they?
that are still outstanding. And that's just how Kickstarter is. And some of them are never going to get delivered. I backed one that Chuck worked on. Chuck's my editor. He's a good friend of mine. And this is public knowledge. The guy in the middle of doing it just gave up doing it. It became too much. He took the money and he ran, and no one ever did anything. And now it's 2 years later.
Wow.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
But the good news is it's a small percentage of creators who are doing this.
Yeah, it
The-
only takes a small percentage to give everybody a black eye, though. That's the
Oh,
problem.
definitely. But I can say after backing 365 projects, that 320 of them delivered as promised. Or
I'm sorry.
within an acceptable time frame.
I gotta get a new sound card. I could have sworn Randy said it only takes a small percentage to get away a black guy. Like they're giving us away
No,
now.
no, black eye,
We used to be for sale.
You knew what I meant.
Catch me outside. How about that?
I gotta get a new sound card. Do you think that? Well, I guess when I look at what's going on with the crowdfunding and what Rob is going through, Nick, now you got your comic and it went out flawlessly. It went out without issue. And you're lucky because you got a publisher that's doing the work for you and it's gonna be doing a good job. Shout out to It's Alive Comics for doing the Lord's work when it comes to getting those books out on time. But like I mean, like Rob said, he's waiting 15 months for a book.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard of Dog Days until afterwards. We're gonna piss Randy off now. Jim says, I got Cyberfrog. Then 2 free copies shortly after. I reached out to Ethan to return, but he said keep them. It was a fulfillment center mistake.
Yeah.
So there's that factor as well.
He got my 2 copies. Is
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is. I
Randy
still
had-
haven't got my damn frog books.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Just a running joke here that Randy's
assured that they're still coming.
Randy's books have hopped away.
Yeah. Hopped off.
I get it because it's a frog.
Are you concerned, Rob, that do you think Marcel's going to learn his lesson?
No. I mean, if you have something like Bleeding Cool call you out, and then you double down on stupid, and then think that you can put out these slutty covers. And look, I make a book about sex, for those who don't know, called Barbara Unleashed. It deals with sexuality. I have no problem with sexuality. I do have a problem with whoring out your characters just to make money, and then calling yourself an artist. That's not what art is. There's a way to make a woman look beautiful no matter what. This isn't what's going on there. And he's confusing that with success, which means all he cares about is money. And that catches up with you over time. Because when you have a sexy cover, but your interiors of your books has nothing to do with sex, what are those fans going to do? They're going to be like, wait, you misled me. And they're not going to show up. And his Kickstarters are now not making money anymore. And I know for a fact the only reason he's probably trying to make good with Travis is Travis is making a dent in his reputation. And it's starting to make people see him for who it is. But I'll be honest, after the whole the Bleeding Cool thing, I defended him, and I got a lot.
I remember that.
I got a lot of heat for defending him, and people started coming to me about what he was doing. It would have been helpful to know beforehand. And I addressed all these concerns I had with him, and I even told Travis, look, I'm hearing a lot of negative things about him. You might want to rethink this partnership we're going into. He's like, no, don't worry. I don't think anything will happen. Travis took a chance on him, and look where Travis is now. And understand this is affecting Travis. We had people on our Advocator campaign ask us where Dog Days was. So this has followed him. This has now become part of his career, where people are now look like it was said, I think Nick said it, where they don't go directly to the publisher. They go to the person who promoted it the most, and that was Travis. So now Travis is the one. And then Marcel says, oh, he left the project. No, he didn't. There's never been a one moment where he has publicly left the project, which means Marcel, again, looked for a way to blame someone else for what was going on. And if he left the project, then a simple question to Marcel, why were you still using his script? I mean, these are simple questions. So is he going to change? Is he ever going to do anything different? No, because he's making money. He'll have to stop making money. And it's up to the backers and the creators around here to make him be more honest, to make him live up to standards, and to stop backing him until he's delivered every book that he has kickstarted.
Jim O'Reilly says, hey guys, I draw from time to time, so if you guys need any covers or pinups, just DM me, www.theartofjimoreilly. I will look that up, Jim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we love looking up art. Well, yeah. Also, I want to bring up this too, because I remember Rob, when you were defending Marcel, it goes back to what L. Nolan said. If he doesn't, I mean, we all represent the indie community. If I take money or I put out a crap project, I make Nick's book look bad. I make Randy's books look bad. I make your books look bad.
Makes my books look bad.
Yeah. You know, I make all of Randy's books look bad. And he uses newsprint. So Ray knows how I feel about newsprint. He knows how I feel about newsprint. You know, Turner. Yeah, I know I'm okay with Turner. I just newsprint just bothers me, guys. Let me get that high quality paper, that high quality gray. That's what I like.
You can get high quality newsprint. That's a whole discussion for another time.
But do you? So we kind of, when books aren't getting fulfilled, you know, it kind of makes it look bad because people like L. Nolan. I'm not picking on L. Nolan, but they get mad. They get mad and they start talking about all of us. Jim says, have to run. Keep fighting the good fight. Remember, at the end of the day, tell good stories, promote good books, and reach back to help the new guy coming up behind you. Exactly, Jim. Exactly.
Thanks for listening, Jim.
Yeah, thanks for that. We'll hope to see you again. Stop by anytime.
Catch you on the flip side.
I with the whole thing of Marcel, and I was happy that Marcel talked to me. I was hoping he was going to give me a longer statement. You know, and again, his statement was, you know, I don't do press. I just have to say that the delay of Dog Days has nothing to do with Travis. It is all on me. I have had the artist redraw several things to make sure it's up to the standards of my brand. The creator that you speak of quit Dog Days. He no longer has anything to do with the book, so he isn't aware of the production status of the graphic novel. I do wish I created success in their other ventures.
And the art that was sent back didn't have enough boobs in it, so he sent it back so more boobs could be put in it. He knows that sells. Let's just throw some boobs on a dog.
That's what we do on this program. Our ratings have been up the roof this week since we put Lola on.
Thank you, everyone watching.
Yeah. But no, I that is a. I mean, it unfortunately is a kind of weird practice, but I don't think that. I think that communication should have been communicated to your backers. That, hey, I'm having stuff redrawn. You know, I don't like the way Varian drew it, so now Josh Lyman is doing it. Yeah, you know, but that should be communicated. And when it's not, it gives everybody this idea that I'm being screwed over. I want my book.
Well, here's a for you. He's saying Travis has left. He never talked to Travis about leaving. The only reason he talked to Travis today was because Travis once again was going to say, hey, he's not paying someone and they're leaving the project now. And they wound up talking finally, you know, or whatever it was, whatever issue it was, because there's always something with Marcel, someone not getting paid. You know, we'll never know now because they actually wound up talking. But like, there's always an issue, and he's talked about on the videos about his artist not getting paid, the colorist not getting paid. There's always been something Travis has had to say in these videos, but he's never said he was going to quit. He always said, I'm going to stay until this project is done. So how can you remove someone from a project if you haven't talked to them?
Yeah, I think in Travis's video, he said he's willing to put up $2,000 to print it.
Yeah, he said he'll print it now. Travis has gone on the record saying, I'm going to make sure everyone gets it. So he's acting more like a publisher than Marcel. And no one wants Marcel to fail. In reverse, we want him to be successful by doing the right thing. So Travis doesn't have to make a weekly video. You know, to really think about what this creator has to do once a week, talk about these things that we should never have to talk about out loud, because the only way that he gets heard is that way. And how horrible is that? To think about it. He doesn't have the ability to really, you know, be passionate and be out there, because he's got to stop and talk about what Marcel's doing. And imagine hearing, wait, I was taken off the project. I quit. That's not what I did. But that's the public statement he gave you. Now, after today fixing all that, did he reach out to you and change that statement?
No, I haven't heard from him today.
Well, what does that say about Marcel as a businessman?
Yeah.
Does Travis have to make a video tomorrow now and say, I'm still part of Dog Days?
Oh, depends on how many people watch this video. Yeah.
But I think that's why I didn't talk today. And I wasn't able to say that, you know, this is Travis is still on it. And this is something that's really going on. It's not fair to Travis. It's not fair to anyone on that team. Anyone who's not getting paid, that's not fair. He should be paying people ahead of time. I don't pay when a page is done. I pay 2 pages in advance. My artists never wait for me to pay them, because I'd rather lose money than be unethical.
Right. I agree. I mean, it's man, it's quite a debacle he's got himself into. He should have just been upfront. And again, I've run a company. My first company was a colossal failure. It was a comedy of errors. But you know, you guys, you know, I refuse to subscribe to this belief that he just went out there and just swindled on purpose. I want to believe that circumstances kept presenting themselves that caused this, and he doesn't know how to course correct and fix these problems. But I mean, then again, I'm hearing that this isn't the first time. This happens with other books, and this has happened. Another reason that got brought to my attention too is because we were talking about Valhalla Awaits and how good it looks, and that's a book he's publishing. And one of our chat members is concerned that he's not going to get his book now because he backed that book last week, and he's like, am I going to get it, or did I just, you know, throw away that money?
And I mean, it's not like you can force Kickstarter to give you a refund. I know people who've gone to Kickstarter about him, and Kickstarter still allows him to be on the platform. And Kickstarter's not going to stop this from happening. So how are backers going to feel safe anymore if someone like this exists? And he can change this all overnight. He can stop Kickstarting all these books and finish what he started. And if you're a publisher, you shouldn't be on Kickstarter 4 times a month. Let's just be honest, because then you're not really a publisher. You're a
broker.
Yeah, you're a broker. You know, you're taking public funds, misusing them. I mean, I'm sure, and to your point, I'm sure there are a lot of people who start a Ponzi scheme and don't mean it to be a Ponzi scheme. Yeah. But when it gets to a certain point and it's now a Ponzi scheme, they make a decision: do I come clean and fix up what I've done and face the repercussions, or do I keep going? And he had a moment with Bleeding Cool where everything was exposed, and then he said, well, no, I guess I can keep going because someone backed my Kickstarter, and I've now gone to confession, and I'm free to do whatever I want.
Or, you know, just my favorite line around the house. I look at Lola and I say, I may have committed some light treason.
Now, in contrast to that, as a quick question, you're saying like, hey, as a publisher, you shouldn't be on, Kickstarter or Indiegogo, whatever have you, more than 4 times a month with new books. In in contrast to that, what about, like, for example, like Devil's Due with Squarriors, or whenever they have like their Ursa Major or any of their other titles where it's an independent book that's going directly to one series of people?
Well, I mean, give credit to Devil's Due. They've always delivered. No one's ever had to stop and consider if this is going to be a thing, you know? And if you
I do have to say, though, like every major, like minor publisher in that case, though, they still suffer from issues with like paying people. That's actually one of the main reasons they ended up going the Kickstarter route, is because they started just not being able to pay the artists.
So I think to your question, if they deliver, I don't think anyone will ever complain. No one complains when the bus keeps riding.
Okay, yeah. So hey, as long as it's good to go, then as a publisher, you're good to go. As long as it delivers on time. All right, cool. Sorry, just random interjection there.
I'll give. How late is too late, guys? How late is too late? Nick, you back some books, right?
I not on like Indiegogo and Kickstarter. I'm just more like directly through some people.
Okay. So how late will be too late for you? How late is it? Like, oh man, I backed this book. You know, because I mean, Trico. I think Trico waited a whole 2 years to get a book.
Yeah, I think he said that. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'd say more than 6 months, but like that's generous right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I mean, once somebody's like saying that, you'd expect it to not be too long because they're presenting it to you. And you have that expectation that it's going to get done pretty in a reasonable time. Yeah.
Rob, is there a time limit for you?
Well, I mean, first off, you have the date where they tell you it's going to be ready, right? So you've already agreed to that time limit. So I think what we're really talking about is time over that time limit, because I already backed agreed to wait that long. And honestly, I don't think there is a time limit if I'm being communicated with. I had a book on Kickstarter, and we had an earthquake and a hurricane interrupt in the middle of creating it, what was going on, and it caused me to split a book in half and create a new issue and add pages. I was only a month late delivering that book, mind you, but I had problems, and I very quickly told everyone, hey, I'm at Olive Garden updating you because I don't have internet at home because there's no power at home, and the artist just had an earthquake. This is the plan. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get it. You guys aren't losing anything, and as a matter of fact, you're going to get more pages than we originally promised and a bigger story. Mm-hmm. So there's always a way to keep people in the loop.
Yeah, communication just solves anything, really, I think. Just being upfront helps.
Travis Gibbs in the chat. Hi, Travis.
Hi, Travis.
And Travis is the writer of the Dog Days. And then Ralph Griffin says 90 to 120 days. Ralph, that's 120 days. I can't do it. I can't.
You should see if you can get Travis on here to set the record clear.
Yeah. If Travis, you want to come in? Yeah. Travis, you want to come in? Let me know. I'll send you a link.
Kicking Lolo.
Yeah. Well, she's she's controlling everything on the computer. She's bringing. Yeah. So she'll be here in like technological spirit.
I was kidding. Please. And Josh disappears.
Do you guys think that there needs to be like more transparency on these I don't want to say bad publishers, but publishers who continually make mistakes? Because I'll tell you guys, my first time publishing. Hello. We're having a spirited debate on.
Oh, she can't hear you. I got.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she can't. Yeah.
He says we're having a spirited discussion.
It's all Randy's fault.
It's all me. I told her to swing by and wave hello, though.
Darn it.
It's all good.
Nick, help.
Do you think that? What are you having problems with, Josh?
Oh, I was being facetious. You were like, "Oh, spirits. Oh, I only brought beer," but I'm done.
Do you? Well, I forgot one of my questions, but now that you guys have, would you like transparency on these bad these bad actors? Would you like, because my first company, I told you guys it was a comedy heiress. I went and got an office. I outgrew that office very quickly. At least in my mind, I did. I moved downtown Detroit and ended up having $850 overhead every month. I had artists stealing paper. It was, and I couldn't pay people. I could not pay people. Money started getting really tight. Travis says, I would normally love to, but I'm working on some stuff for some Kickstarters. Rob knows most of the stuff, but I'll stay online and answer any questions next time, however. We will hold you to that, Travis.
And Travis really does help other people out with Kickstarter, so I don't doubt that he's out there literally helping someone else right now get their Kickstarter in order so they can be successful. So this is the type of guy he is, and he's now be put in this weird position where people are second guessing him, and that's totally unfair.
Because Travis, the word that I got was that you had, and Rob has set me straight on that, was that you had quit the project and had no idea of the status of it. But that obviously was not. There seems to be some miscommunication in that aspect as well. But what is all that noise?
That is my chair.
Oh wow. Okay, Calvin, get you a new chair. I wonder if I'm telling you right now, guys. When I messed up, let me tell you, I had a guy come in and I owed two different artists, and I owed one $120. I owed another $50. I had $50, and so I paid. I paid the one that I owe $50 to, because I figured I've got 50. I owe him 50. This is one person out of my hair, right? So I gave him the $50. I don't think he was out the building yet before he called the artist that I owed $120. And hey, Varian paid me, blah 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 blah. So my phone rang, and hey, I heard you paid. I forget the guy's name, and that's not fair because I haven't gotten paid yet. And I understood he had a point, but it was the circumstances were making me broke, and that were ruining the company were out of my hands. Travis says, yeah, I said that I quit if he wasn't going to move forward with the project. He moves forward and I stay on. People should get what they pledged for. Yeah, I mean, there was never a point where you were like, hey, I'm abandoning the project, I'm jumping ship. So, I think that maybe he just needs help. Maybe he needs help with his company. Maybe he needs a Rob Anderson over there helping him with his company.
Oh, he would cry if I tried to help him. He needs someone a lot softer to help him. Because he already blocked me because I asked hard questions.
I'll probably block by the morning.
Yeah.
Randy too. He's gonna preemptively block everybody.
We'll all be blocked. We'll all be blocked. We don't even know the guy.
He's gonna go block crazy in the morning. He's gonna block everybody.
Yeah. I wish he would have came on, because I did want him to come on and explain the situation, because maybe he could say, no, oh, here's what happened, but but when you don't do press and you're a publisher and you don't have anybody in a situation to handle your press, that looks bad, and you allow people to set the narrative.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, is he really a publisher?
Well,
does he have the right to call himself a publisher at this point, honestly? You can call yourself an owl. It doesn't make you an owl, right?
Well, if someone identifies as an owl, that's fine.
I self-identify as an artist.
I seen that was your profile picture too.
I need to make shirts with that.
Yeah. I don't know. What? I guess he is. He owns a web. He has a website, right? They have a .com. No
website.
Oh no.
He's got a Facebook page, sir. Nothing but professional. Marvel's got a Facebook page only too. They don't have a whole website.
I haven't been to Marvel.com since they did the web comics that took like 5 minutes to load.
I used to love those.
Yeah, right. They were awesome. Dude, what's gonna happen? Mark, what did you draw this time? Oh no, there's a clone of Spider-Man again, but it's a girl.
Would Randy? Would you put Marcel over your knee? Well, not the. No. You know what I mean? No. Well,
metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically, would you take him to task for his
I'm
Just
a
hit him
firm-
down.
I'm a firm believer in karma.
Yeah.
People are gonna learn eventually, and you'll either
And these are all creator-owned books, right?
put up or go
Right.
away. Yeah.
Most of these are creator-owned books, right? Or are they his?
If he's a publisher, you'd believe. I mean, it depends what you believe. I mean, there are people that have publicly said that he tries to take IPs from them, but that'd be a question he'd have to answer, and he's not here to answer it. So we can just speculate now because he's not here, right? We don't, because I know that Infinitive Punishment wound up going to previews without his help. And with his help, he gave us his old books that he had lying around in the closet because he doesn't go to conventions.
And you gotta go to conventions.
I think he did 2 conventions last year. I do 2 conventions. I'm doing 2 different shows this weekend. But he, 2 conventions. That's good. Maybe 3. Maybe 3. We don't want to push him too hard. He's just a publisher. Publishers need a lot of time off and a lot of time making booby pictures to sell their Kickstarter.
That's what I've been saying. But you.
Well, that actually brings up a side note as far as that's concerned.
Booby
So
pictures.
most Comic Cons, when it comes to independent, small press, small publisher, they require that you buy a booth, so it's double or triple the investment. Now, in your case, you create the book, and hey, occasionally you'll get a contributing artist or whatever have you. So being an artist alley is fine, but if it comes down to an independent publisher, should they be an artist alley, or should they have to be able to afford that larger booth space?
I think that's a call every individual convention would have to make, where they were going to allow.
And that's fair, but I only say this as in a devil's advocate situation. Like, yes, admittedly, there's nothing good that has been reported tonight. But in the event of like coming to Comic-Con, Comic-Con's expensive.
I'd rather them than a crafts person.
Yeah, I mean, be like, hey, where's my book? And be like, well, I spent it on a $600 booth at Los Angeles Comic-Con or whatever have you. I think actually theirs were $1,100 this year.
Yeah.
That's a side topic. I apologize.
No, it's fine. No, I mean, I've been kicked out of Artist Alley. I've been told I couldn't get an Artist Alley. I had to get a exhibitor booth, and that's a bigger investment. That's
Yep.
That's normally my table goes from maybe what I thought was going to be $300 to $400 to now $800. Not including the fact that I need electricity. Travis says, yeah, I'm happy today that we are keeping Dog Days going, but he did a video a few weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, it's
So he picks and chooses what videos he wants to be on. That's what Travis finished off saying.
yeah, also, yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
He's got the presidential press tour.
I wonder if I'm adding there we go. Okay. And then we're going to go to there's one other question I'd like you guys to touch on. I just got all the like
I give consent to be touched.
Yeah. Says Randy, go ahead and read that.
You guys ought to make a cron over at indievolt.com. I, for one, no longer trust the powers that be at IndieCron. D. Ashford. Thanks for your input, D. Ashford.
What the heck is a cron?
We appreciate. They want us to do they want Varian to do a listing site of indie books that are.
You see how Randy do that on me? They want Varian.
Well, no, it says over at indievolt.com. You are indievolt.com. IndieCron.com started up quite a while ago in order to list books that were primarily CG that were available on Indiegogo. And CG is currently got a lot of in-house drama working. And D. Ashford no longer trusts the guys' powers that be at IndieCron.
That's unfortunate.
And was kind of hoping that Indie Volt would list a listing of books that were available on different crowdfunding sites. As there are every day, there seems to be more and more crowdfunded books. So,
Travis says that he was on Chester's video. I can't think of the name of the video. Indie something. It wasn't Indie Vault. He told us he didn't do press. No. So, all right. Let's see here. I am going to give it.
Guess he chooses which press he does.
Yeah.
Just what questions will be asked.
Yeah. let's see here. All right, let me go to the. I will stop that one, and then I will bring this up so we can. Today's prize
And it's
is
and D Ashford, I want to just add to that. It's a shame that there's not a site out there listing a bunch of the indie projects that everybody can go to, that are wide open, that are independently, that are crowdfunded on both Kickstarter and Indiegogo by everybody, so that people know what products are out there. Because the field right now is just amazing. There's some really top quality books out there that aren't being seen.
Well,
Kind
wouldn't,
of a
That
fun
deserve a
YouTube
lot bigger
situation.
backing than what they're getting.
wouldn't Quick Track be that though?
I'm not aware of Quick Track.
Yeah, it basically takes everything that's live and analyzes it, whether it'll fund. It talks about its ups and downs. It's the closest thing. I mean, we cover a couple things at indieadvocates.com, but we have to have it submitted to us, and we ask people have to ask us to do it. It's a permission thing, so no one can ever say that we do things without permission.
Yeah.
But we cover about at least 10 to 15 a week.
and that's I don't know, man. That would take a lot of work, man.
It would.
I'm
It
lazy.
would take a lot of work.
I am severely lazy. You guys will see here that I have the wheel to side up. Today's prize is pink lemonade. So if you've commented, you are in here. If you comment, especially more than once, you are in here. So
Mostly because we could see you.
yeah. So I can see it. That's why if you heard me type, that's what I was typing up.
The randomizer.
So we're gonna click the wheel. So
When that's done, I will be able to show what I was working on.
all right. So here we go. We're gonna see who wins. Nick, you want to say anything before we spin the wheel?
Well, I'm excited for this wheel to spin and see who gets a copy of the book.
It will be an unsigned copy, but when you run into Nick at a convention, you can tell him, "Hey, sign this book, man."
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, here we go. Who is going to win it? Oh, why does it say Trico Hodson?
Trico
Actually,
Hodson.
It's actually Trico. I think I must have hit the wrong button. It said Hodson twice, but Trico won. Is right under there. Yeah, Trico Lutkins. Congratulations, you win a copy of Pink Lemonade, sir. So, yeah.
Are you still out there, Trico? Are you in the chat? Let us know.
Yeah, he probably is listening. But yeah, Trico has won.
If not, then we'll make sure that book gets to him.
Yeah. Trico has won a copy of Pink Lemonade, which if I was professional, I'd have over here. But
This right here.
James Hodson wants to know what the hell.
yeah, there it is.
It's a scam, I tell you. It's a ripoff.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Eric. Somehow he got listed as Hodson. I don't know what happened. Uh-oh. Did somebody drop?
Oh no, that was
Oh,
me.
you're
I'm sorry.
complaining.
I'm sorry, Rob.
Welcome
I hit the
back.
wrong button.
Okay. Yeah.
He kicked him out.
I meant to hit that one
Yeah.
when Nick was showing off his book.
Yeah. Eric says, what the hell? And that was his rigged. Yeah. Traco is the winner of the book. Next week we'll be giving away Staunch Ambition, and then we're gonna get around to some of the Palma books. Gonna give that away. Eric says, using my last name to win, I smell something. Yeah. That's that.
Hitting the comments. It's my job.
Okay, then hit them quicker. Fast. I'm a man. I hit it quick. Gotta go. Gotta move.
Did your mama teach you not to hit women? Come on.
No. She no, yeah, she did. She would have.
Come on, son. They can hit you as much as they want, though.
Yeah. It blew my ass all over the place, right?
Yeah, don't hit him.
Yeah, she does. She hit-
Smack! What happened? Oh, sorry, I was sleeping.
Are you guys now there is something that and I noticed that everybody was pretty much drawing for a while there. I think Randy was drawing for a bit too.
No,
Josh,
I'm just looking around here. So.
let's go full screen on Josh. Who's controlling?
I got it.
Okay.
I just got to find him. There he is. Boom.
All right, Josh, you going to show us something you're working on?
Yeah, I suppose. Give me half a second more. I'm just being OCD about something.
Okay. That looks like the I was looking at
Oh,
your
nuts.
logo up there.
Yeah. I'm working on it here. Look, man, there's one of me, and I had to pencil and ink and color things. I'm the original OG. No, oh dear God, that's way too large.
Tracy says, "Hi guys." He fell asleep, but I'll tell him in the morning. Yeah, see, he was asleep and he won.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah,
Yeah, just give it to Eric.
yeah.
Eric can ship it off after he's read it. All right. Well, that's good as it's gonna get for freebies. So, and of course, I think it's gonna be flipped backwards on here, but we'll see. Eeny, meeny, miny, zoom.
Anticipation.
Wow.
Hey.
Let's try that again.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
whoa. Josh,
good.
that's incredible. I
No worries,
love
dude.
it.
I apologize that the light is not working properly.
Yeah,
Could
you got
you,
a kind of a harsh light there, but if you turn it
Right.
just a little sideways, you had it really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it
There
is,
you
yeah.
go. Awesome.
Yeah. Could you
That
post
looks
that?
great.
Totally.
Yeah, you gotta share that.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Man,
Minute here, and I'll just send it over to you, Varian, and you can do what you need to.
Yeah. I'll send it to Nick. That's cool. That's
Just keep-
cool.
Ugh.
That was cool. I wonder if and then
I was gonna say I probably should have just done that in the first place, but I haven't put OBS on here yet, so
would you guys all say that when you're it's important for because this is from one of our Ask Me Anythings from IndiePort Radio. How important is it for you to do research into your publisher when you first decide to go the publishing route? Nick, did you do any research before you signed up It's Alive, or were you already aware of them?
I did a lot of research, honestly. Like I was, deliberating over if I should go ahead with that direction for like over a week and a half or so. It was a lot of just making sure it felt comfortable and the publisher Drew was pretty like accommodating and everything and comfortable with talking about any concerns I had and anything. And it's like we said earlier, just with anything, being upfront and communicating always the best thing. Make everything feel more right. But I guess that's at the end of the day why I decided to go through. Just felt right, and
well, I guess when Rob, do you think that it's something we could teach creators to do a little bit more research when they're trying to figure out who to sign with and if they're looking for a publisher in the house?
Oh, absolutely. But I think it also comes down to what is the publisher going to give you for signing up? Too many people are so eager to sign in a contract to be with a publisher, and too few are asking, well, what's this publisher going to do for me? What is it really bringing to the table that I can't do on my own? And that's the big thing. I mean, I've been offered to be part of publishers before and turned most of them down almost immediately just because they couldn't do anything I couldn't do on my own. And that's something that I think that we need to start looking at, because indie publishers aren't Marvel and DC. They're not a gateway necessarily. Hats off to the better ones that are out there that are considered indie. Scout Comics, Source Point Press, Devil's Due, Aftershock Comics, just to name a few really good indie houses that you want to be part of. And that's not to knock little smaller ones. The smaller ones might be a good fit, but you really have to ask, not only what can they do for me, but have they done it for someone else? You need to have that. You need to have those two things. And if they're not doing it for other people, what makes you special? Why are they going to do something for you they've never done for anyone else?
I am shook to my core that my company was not named amongst those. You're canceled, Rob. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do believe though that if there's a little bit more I mean, you got Vault Comics. They're doing a lot of cool stuff right now. Sheep. Yeah, and I is Big Dog Inc. still around?
Big Dog is technically teamed up with Aspen, if my memory serves me correctly.
Okay.
And I think the big point we want to get across is always do your research. Get to know that publisher. Get to know what they're doing. Be comfortable. You have to be comfortable before you sign any paper. And always sign paper.
Yeah.
Especially, even if you know these people and you trust them with your children or anything, that you literally are trusting them with your children. But make sure that paper's signed and that there's an agreement and that you're comfortable enough with that publisher in order to let your title go through, or just do it yourself.
Otherwise, you could end up you're really, really screwed.
Yep.
Screwed completely over, and
you have to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, it would help, if you did know who it was. You talk to them, talk to some other people who publish through them, if you can. See, if they got any problems, or if they said, hey, this guy didn't pay me for this book. And then to educate stuff on the industry, I cannot tell you how many people have come to me. Like, someone came to me with a script once for their comic, and this is my first company. And they wanted me to pay them for the script.
See, that's a common thing that happens now. People are like, oh yeah, like constantly. People like expect you to just be like, well, I already have this, you should pay me for it. And it comes down to what we were touching on just a moment ago. Is like, hey, they're not doing the research on how comic books are done.
Yeah.
I regularly, sorry, I always have an issue with that word. Regularly, at Comic Cons have to actually explain like a general process of how a story is done, and people will kind of be like, I have this idea about this guy and about this guy, and an hour and a half later, you're like, trapped audience.
You're holding me hostage.
We're all shaking our heads to that.
A lot better now. I will say that I can most of the time figure out when they're going to be trying to like plug or pitch me their idea or their website or their art, and I'll listen. And at about the 10-minute gap is when I just decide to go crazy artist and just like, oh well, look at the flowers. Ta-da! Like if I had the little Willy Wonka flute.
Yeah.
I do the bathroom thing. I'm like, oh, I'd love to talk more, but I really got to poop. I'll be back.
Well, you're like right there. Hang on. You can just stare at the bathroom until you come back out. Is he gone yet?
Exactly.
I have run to the bathroom before on people.
I've done the phone call for a couple of my friends.
Yeah. There was the piece.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's super cool.
Nick, I did send it to you as well.
Well done.
Oh, sweet. I'll gotta check that out then.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I share it and tag you in the post, Josh?
It's a quickie. Just be a diva for a second. It's just a quickie. So, you're like, hey, look at this quick sketch he did while he was listening.
Yeah.
Ramble for an hour.
Yeah, he can always be
Even an
tagged
hour.
as Art of Josh Lyman. Yeah. What's the he never draws free for me.
You don't have any. I've already drawn your drunk dwarf.
Yeah.
You have none of your content online that I can find and use to draw. Eric is like he's not drawing for me.
When I table with Rob, I make them wait for him. Just to help Rob out. Yeah.
Now we know. Now we know.
Samson Dex provide
They'll swarmed up. They'll be like, don't worry, he's going to be right back.
Yeah, he poops quick. He poops super quick. Yeah, I think that's an important thing though, man. Just figuring out who those people are, figuring out if a mistake was made, if it was a real mistake, because you got a lot of haters out there. Ask people working within the company. Don't ask the competition. Like don't come to me and ask me, how Sinister Undertone is as a company, even though I don't have anything bad to say about them. Ultimately, they're another publisher, and if I have really effed up intentions, I can be like, oh, don't publish with those guys. I've had that happen to me by a publisher, and I called them out on it, and yeah. So just make sure that you do that you do research, and also if it's not working out, consider putting it out by yourself.
No,
I mean,
the one thing I do want to add here is that with all of us saying all this, I think that I speak especially for me and you. is that we really hope that Marcel finds a way to do this right and find success in comics. None of us want to see anyone fail. We just want people to be ethical so it doesn't hurt the community.
There's only 2 publishers I want to see fail. Only 2 tops. But no. And in all truthfulness, he needs to do better because it reflects on all of us, and it also, we love this industry. I think all of us to some degree, and you want to see people succeed in it. And when, like, if he needs help, he should reach out to people and say, hey, I don't understand this, or I'm having an issue with, how do you guys do this? I actually reached out to another publisher here in Michigan a while ago, and I'm like, dude, I don't have any who claims that he's always willing to help, by the way. And I said, I don't have any Gemini mailers. I'm out.
No.
Do you have any I can borrow or buy from you? And he never responded. Like, totally ghosted me. It's like, I know he read it. You son of a bitch.
It says red.
Yeah. But so there is a little bit of bitterness there. But there are some people who figure, oh, if you fail, I'll get your talent. I'll be able to get everybody to come over from your house and come over to mine now. And I don't want that. I don't want your problems. I heard about those divas you got over there. You got a whole stable full of Joshes, and they're expensive. They need plane tickets. Josh, speaking of plane tickets, you're head to Korea pretty soon, right?
Yeah, in about 2 weeks, I will be off to Korea again. Let me know if you want me to go hit up the Animators Guild there or anything. Try and see if I can arrange an interview.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
A couple of them might need some let's call it translators, but other than that, should be okay.
Could you find some good Korean comics over there?
To be honest, most Korean manga and manga, it's not even either one of those things because that's a Japanese word. It's all giant robots. It's basically Manzinger Z, which I think is making a comeback because they have been pushing that. The last time I was there was last winter, and they have got some beautiful things that we're selling for like $200-300 a pop here. They're like just maquettes and figurines that are just redesigning the character, and it just, if they do make a new show, I'm on board. I want to see it, but like there's a couple of characters that you just totally don't know that you're like, holy crap, like you would never have imagined why these characters weren't popular in the United States. And it's just, distribution. That's really all it boiled down to.
There's a lot of sequential art properties all over the world that it's amazing that they're not over here.
Now, I will say this about Korea. One of the great things about it is, South Korea, more accurately, Seoul area, Incheon, it's more a melting pot. So because it's been occupied by so many different countries, not to mention they're really trying to focus on, hey, come on in, spend your tourist dollars and whatever have you. So like China, Taiwan, Japan, they are in there in flux. Like the amount of Gundam stuff that is there is ludicrous. Like I don't even like Gundams that much. I'm more of a weirdo about Zoids. I like the mammalian creatures and the dinos and stuff. But like it's just crazy. Like everywhere you go, it's like forget GameStop. You're like, there's a Gundam store, there's another Gundam store, and they all have different things.
My buddy who was stationed there used to tell me about that, and I know was it when I'm in Korea, I'm hungry. It's Peggy Pio, I think is what it is. I'm hungry, and he used to bring kimbap home. Yeah, that was really good. It's like a seaweed. So yeah, guys, I think we're pretty much done. I want to go around though, and where can everybody who's listening, especially people who'll be listening on Indievo Radio a little bit later, because I play this over and over again, where can they find you guys? We're gonna start from Nick first, and we're gonna go around, and then we'll come around, and Josh will be last. Nick, where can we find you online?
Well, I remember the last time I forgot a bunch of things, but I think the main ones, Instagram, I'm Fudgy1Nick, FUDGY1 Nick. RadicalRealmComics.com, you can find me a lot of my older stuff and a lot of other stuff there too. And there's some links on that website for a lot of the other social media too. But that's a pretty good central place, I guess. But on Twitter, I'm also NCAGs. Like those are the main ones, I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna unfollow you, and then I'm gonna follow you again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now on your,
Thanks.
do you still have a campaign open for Pink Lemonade 2?
Yeah.
No.
No.
That's not open?
I don't know
No,
if Andy spotlights
closed
it
off?
in your story, but they spelled "your" wrong. You got it.
Did they?
If you're looking for,
Uh,
you are. Come on, apostrophe.
Well,
Not
I
a-
hope
I
when
always
you
want-
do Pink Lemonade 3 that you end up having a tier where you can catch up.
yeah.
Farron, you're supposed to be an editor. What gives, man? Come on.
yeah.
Because I missed out on 2.
Oh dang! I think for this past one, we did have like all the previous ones too, like number 1 and the holiday one and number 2. So for number 3, I'm sure we'll be able to have a catch up too.
Good.
Yeah. They were. They're all gone. It's closed. I could have sworn it went to on demand, but yeah. So it's issue 2 is closed right now, but it will be. And you have more sketch cards this time too, huh?
Yeah.
Sketch cards.
How could I miss out? I was sorry.
You missed out again.
I missed out on the sketch card again. Oh man, this
Failed me.
yeah. Rob, where can we find you at, sir?
Well, you can find not just me, but thousands of other creators on IndieAdvocates.com, the global digital Comic Con. You can keep up with the Indie Devil at theindiedevil.com. And if you want to see the softer side of the devil, check out Cat Dad and Supermom, where we teach morals with farts.
I didn't hear an Instagram in that.
I'm not. I don't get an Instagram privilege.
I don't believe in social media. I only send things by carrier pigeon and slingshot.
There you go.
We can find
Slingshot, very important.
we can find
2 miles because it has a bracer on the arm.
Eric says good night and good luck. Good night, Eric.
Good night, Eric.
We can find Lola on Suicide Girls.
She's shaking her head no.
Randy, where can we find you at, sir?
I'm on the Facebook. I'm on the YouTube under Zim Geek. At the Zim Geek channel. Hopefully there'll be more content up there soon. I've got a couple of videos that I'm in the middle of editing down now. Other than that, Twitter under Randy Zim. I'm there as well, and hopefully a lot of other places soon. But I don't do Instagram either.
Terror.
Will you be back?
Oh
to
yeah, I'll be at Grand Rapids Con in November if you want to swing by and say hello.
Oh yeah, look at that
Love to see
custom
you
art
there.
by the Randa.
Yeah.
Will
I'll be
you
monitoring 3 panels or whatever they call it. emceeing 3 panels while I'm there, one every day.
Mhm.
And Sundays especially will be good because it's on the discussion is on finding new talent in the industry. So.
Will you be back to being Rain Zimmerman next Thursday?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Well,
this-
that started out because I was playing around with you the last time we were
Yeah.
streaming as Jolly B Zim.
Yeah.
I just left the J up there.
And of course, I am Varian Grant, kid_V at Twitter, Varian Grant on Facebook, that one kid on Instagram. Yep, I have an Instagram. I also have a DA page. Oh my God, I'm everywhere. Yeah, let's look up Varian Grant. It's only one.
About a month ago.
Yeah. I really hate posting art though, but I'm gonna start getting back into posting art. Don't worry, it's going down. I'm gonna get it done. I've been doing live streams a lot lately. You can check me out on my regular personal YouTube, Varian Grant, KYDRIOT. Actually, it's the best way to find it on YouTube. Yep.
Oh my goodness, there's art.
Yeah.
The interior has women's shoulders and legs.
Yeah. I try to draw shoulders and legs and normalize my leg fetish.
Healthy.
And Josh, where can we find you at, sir?
Oh, well, I think you can find me on Instagram. No, but seriously, you can find me at Art of Josh Lyman on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I recently just went through a massive social media purge, so DeviantArt is gone, and all the other really fun ones that I was on for cosplayers, et ceteras, and terms and agreement places. They're all gone. They're all gone. So yeah, you can find me there, and on YouTube you can find me there as well. However, I am going to be changing the name to that too soon, hopefully to Josh Draws, providing that people haven't taken it already. But we'll see how that goes.
Cool. And of course, this is Indie Vote. You can find us.
Roll the
everywhere.
clip.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We are everywhere. I'm trying to think where my all my content is at, but you can find us on
in 2 weeks.
Yeah. You can find us on Indie Vote Radio. Actually, is Google and Android, iOS. We have you can find it on a streamer if you have iOS. Indie Vote Radio plays the very best in indie music, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it's free. The app is free. And also, you can watch us on TV too. If you have a Roku, over-the-top streaming service available on Roku. It's coming very soon. It's called Indie Vote TV. It's coming to Amazon Fire Stick pretty soon. Actually, it's already on Roku. You can stream independent movies, music videos, wrestling, original documentaries, and more on Indie Vote TV. And did I mention that that's free as well? How am I making any money?
Ads.
Yeah. Find Indie Vote TV by searching the channel store of your Roku device or Roku-enabled television. And that's pretty much it for us, guys. And also we do podcasts now too. Yeah, we have this will be on a podcast. Yeah, I mean we're just like putting our voices everywhere.
That is brought to you by Pink Lemonade as well.
Yeah. Today's episode brought to you by Pink Lemonade
and bittersweet.
and the Indie Devil and the Rob wanting to make sure that people are kept honest in this industry. I want to thank you guys all for coming on tonight. I appreciate
thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, we gave away a copy of a book tonight, so that's cool. We're gonna have Trico read it and tell us what he thinks about it too.
Cool.
Trico Hodkins. Yeah.
Trico.
Hey, dude, we need you to record you reading the book.
Yeah.
There we go.
No way! This totally happened.
And now Professor Lutkin's dramatic interpretation of Pink
Look,
Lemonade 1.
He does. He fibbed. He fibbed. Look at it. Look at it.
All right, you guys have a good night. We will see everybody back Thursday morning at 9 a.m. for the Indie Vote Breakfast Buzz. And of course, we're here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I'm Varian Grant, and this has been Indie Vote.
Kick it.